Hello and welcome to yet another episode on HTML and JavaScript. So let's get started. So again, the same thing, double clicking it, minimize it, wait for a sec. Okay, you can see OSGI, minimize it, and then go to your browser and again, over here, have an account, sign in, and to our page over here. Just close it and we come to the part where we left it. Now, what tags we can add more into it? So in the last class, we saw that what we did is that we referenced one of the things that was there over here inside the iframe, and the iframe tag actually takes in the whole HTML file inside it, HTML content. So this results into a website, into the HTML that we saw in the last class, our own HTML. So the point I'm actually trying to make is that if you're getting confused with it, what I'm trying to tell you is that we have our HTML, right? And this is the ending HTML. Okay. Inside that, when you use the iframe tag, it also takes something that is a HTML, a complete HTML inside the iframe tag. So this is what I'm talking about, the HTML inside HTML. Okay. So this is how you can reference it. Now we can delete this thing. Now, after that, there are a couple of things that we can do with it. We can add some more tags. So we have got iframe and div, and then we can have some. So just pack it because this thing is packed completely. And now we can make something called as a label tag, label. And the label will have, let's say, our name. And with the label, we can have an input tag with it. And input tag doesn't have anything in it. It's simply an input tag. So we can say there is a type. Let's go to our W3 schools to get the list of input tags and the types of it. So go to W3 schools and type over here input HTML, and a screen will pop up, and you see there was a type also in it. And this is how your input type, and the type is submit. The type is text. What kind of type that? And you can even type something like input types. So you see there are so many types of input, like for example, date, and then you have got password and a radio and range, reset, summit, and text, time, URL, peak. So many types of input boxes are there, which you can use at any time. We'll use a couple of it. So let's go, and then you see you have got the label over here, and then you have got the input. So see so whenever you want to know more about it, you can just come to this particular website, W3 Schools, and you can get the idea of the tags. Like here, you can see it's a username and then password. This is how you can do that. And you see the complete code for the form is written over here. Inside the form, you can have these things. And password, it's written, the label is password. And and then you can come and type a placeholder also. Placeholder. See what you get. In HTML input placeholder attribute. So here you can come and see that our input is type tel, like a telephone, and then phone, and placeholder is something like this. So you will see it, what exactly these things are. Don't get agitated. I'm just trying to tell you that whenever you want to know about tags, and here you can see I've got a list of tags over here, which you can use when the time calls for. So the idea is to just make you aware of these things where you can get the things for yourself, and then work on it, because here you can see it talks about try it yourself. So come back over here and you see this is how it ends up into. So if you want something like this over here, and you see this thing is, if you write something on it, you see that placeholder actually tells you in what format you have to write. So that is called as a placeholder. And the format over here is also given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So whenever you want somebody to, let's say that somebody has to enter the phone number, then they don't know what format they have to actually follow, though you can put the format in it. And then there is a submit button that gives you submitted form data, those kind of things. Okay. So let's come back to our code, and then we can say that placeholder equals name, or we can say right name, so that will help the reader to understand what to do with the placeholder. And then you can put another label over here, another label with the name called as password. So this is what will be seen on the screen, that password, that's what is a label. And then you have got the input tag for it as well. And in that input tag, you can again put a placeholder. Placeholder where you can write, password. And let's come and check what shows to us. Okay, so here you see we have got the name and the password, and a couple of pictures also got dragged into this space. And we want the pictures to be at the bottom, not over here. Then you can have a button also. Besides that, a button. So you see, and in the button you can call as submit, and call that as submit button. So you see, you can come back and see the buttons also pressed over here, submit. Okay, so what we want is that we want these two things inside, the name and placeholder in one line, and password in this one in one line. So we can just put a break over here. There's another tag that brings you to the next line. You just check it out. Come over here. They all are in one line. I want this in one line, this in one line, and this in one line. What we can do is we can just come and refresh it, and you see name is here and the password is here, but then you see these things are trying to get inside it, and they don't want that thing to come over here. So what we can do is we can use the div tag over here. So just remember, you don't want something to float like that, because it is floating and coming in our space. We want it to be cleared. So what you can do is come over here and make a div tag. It's for packing something. In the div tag, you can type style. Just write style equals and say clear, colon, float, clear left, clear left. So what this will do is that whenever something of this sort of happens, then you need to just make a div tag and then clear the space. So when I press it, this part you see, let me just come and show it to you what exactly I'm trying to tell, that you see this space over here is occupied and we don't want this space to be occupied. We want something, the space to be free unless you purposely need it. I don't want this space to be occupied by this. So once you refresh it, and we use a div tag to do that, once you refresh it, it goes to the lower part of the page. And now you have these things like name and password. So let me clear the drawing now. And this is how you see. And they are not well arranged, I know, but you see this right name that I call as a placeholder. It tells that what you have to do over there. So if you want to write your name, you can write and then password. But you see the password that you have written is quite visible because this is the input box, but you need to specify what type of input box it is. If it has to be a password, then you need to write that but there inside the input box of the password and say the type should be password. Then it will mask the things those you write. Password. Okay. Then and come back over here and refresh the page. And now if you write, you see that your letters or whatever you have written are masked over here. They don't look good. I know that. They're like clumsy, but then we haven't started styling yet. So, but then you can check out for more input boxes like just make a break over here so that those input boxes should come to the next line. So in order to go to the next line, you can use the BR tag. BR means break. Okay. And then in the input box, you can have like type. You need to say what type of input box it is. It is a type of date. So if you press date and one more, let's say the input box. And this stem type equals color. Close the box. Come and check it out. You will see two more boxes, one with the color and another with the date. And you can just go and press the date, whatever date that has to be chosen can be pressed over here. Okay. So these are the types of input boxes that we could have. Another thing that you can have over here, so is a table. So let me just explain what a table is, and it requires a lot of tags inside it to make a table. But one of the easiest things for me to do, and I really like doing it. So if you get a hang of it, then you can also do it. So a table, let's say, make a table of. Let me just delete this thing first. Use a smart pen so that you don't have to worry about. So it, and then we can cut that into 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So the table is made now. So this whole thing is called as a table. So remember placing. Now you need to understand how to place the tags inside the tags, because you need a lot of nesting of tags inside this. So first we have got the table. So let's not make it, but say table. Now we don't need that smart pen anymore. Just say a table. Okay. So we got a table. Inside the whole table, we have got two sub things in it, and it's called as a table head. And it's got a thing called as table body. Okay. So this is my head. This part is my head. And this part is my body inside the table. Okay. Now, each of the things is called as a row. So you see this first row, second row, third row. So this is my TR, table row. This is my table row. Inside the table row, I have got table head now. Again, don't confuse with this head. It's the data I'm talking about. Another tag, table head. And this is called as TD, table data. Each of the cells, we have got table data in it. Table data, table data, table data, table data, table data. See that? So the structure is something like this. You have got a table. Let me keep the drawing over here so that we can talk about it. And let's try to make it using the tags. So let's make the table over here. Okay, so first thing that we need a table, an end. You see the whole thing is a table. Inside the table, we have two things, table head, done it. And inside the table, the other thing that we need is table body, done it, complete. And inside the table head, you see, we have got table, inside the table head, we have got TR, that is our table row. So now we come to the row. So you see, this is the first table row that is inside the head, inside this table head. And we have got these TRs inside the table body. So let's copy this thing and make our table body. So the table body, we have got how many rows? We have got one, two, three rows in the table body. So one, two, three. See that? Inside the table row, we have got THs in it. So just spread it and make our TH. How many of that there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so just copy it. And let's take only 3 for convenience. Okay. And inside the table, this table row, we have got TD, the table data. Just spread it and make a TR. And then, sorry, I'm so sorry. We are already in the TR, so make that TD, table data we were talking about. Table data, and how many of that? 1, 2, 3, 4 in one row. So this is my one row, this row I'm talking about. And that I've got the TD. And you can now paste it. Paste it. So 3 of them are there. Copy the whole 3 because you don't want to do it again and again. But then we can do it. No problem. In the second, or rather third row, that means this row I'm talking about. So let's use a different color of pencil so that I can make things so it's good. So we are talking about this row now, this row. Okay, so this row we have got TDs in it. So we are into this row right now. We put TDs. Just press over there, press TD. 1, table data 2, 3. That means 1, 2, 3. We don't want four columns over here. four entries over there. And the third one also will have the same thing. Done it, right? See our table? So the structure is so simple, you see. Is right now we are talking about the table, the whole table. So you can see the table. When you expand it, you get two things, table head and table body. So this is the table head and table body, right? And the table body. Inside the table body, you have got rows. And the same is true with table head as well. So you have got rows. So you see we have got rows. Inside the row, we have got the THs, table heads. And inside the rows, second row, third row, we have got table data in it. So this is how it is. Now delete it. And now start making the entry. So it's a heading, so we can say it's a name. And then we can go for age. And then we can go for gender. These three things are there table. Now we can add over here. The name is Dan. And the age is 32. And the gender is male. Then you can write Tina. And the age is 29. And then the gender is female. Then what you can do over here is that you can put the third name as Tom and make it 12, and he's a male. Okay, so now you see our table is done, and you can come back over here and check it out. On top, you see our table is made. Okay, so this is how you can make your tables as well. Now, what we can do, so we can pack the table because our table is done, and packing can be done. You can also use a div tag, and now the table packing is also done in this. And also over here, you see we can also pack things over here, but later we'll see how to pack things using the div tag. Div tag is a very important thing used for packing stuff. So did we see the change? Yeah, that's there. And now coming back to our another tag that I would like to discuss with you is called as the expand it. It's called as the UL tag. So it's very simple. UL means unordered list. So you will see it, what I'm talking about. Simply expand it, put an li, the list items inside it, and whatever list you want. Let me have it, 3 of it, 4 of it. Okay. In the list, what we can place over here is name of the courses like HTML and then CSS and then JavaScript. And then we will have jQuery. And that's enough. So this is what we have. And if you check out, this is how it looks like. Push the page. Where's the thing? I don't see the thing over here. It's here, you see this part. And this call is unordered list. And you can see the bullets over here. This is why it's called as unordered list. Now, you can also make an ordered list over here, like using an OL tag. And just again, the same thing, make an li and make another li. Let's make the copy of it. Enter, enter, enter. In the list, you can have things like the names of animals, like tiger, and then you have got the dog, you've got the cat, and then you have got the lion. Okay, so all carnivores. And then you can have another list over here. You can see. Okay. So see, these are tags that we are like, we did that, and we can just go and check for something like what other tags we could have possibly um you know got more from the list. And if you come over here, then you can get the tags. We are missing any. So you see, we have done the EM tag, bold tag, video, audio, and then we have not used a link tag right now. We will be using it later. And then we have got the, we have not used the style. We have used style tag, but then I'll talk more about it in a short while. And then you have got the script tag, an iframe, a UL tag, OL tag, table, div tag, audio, image, and input type as color, date, password, submit. So these tags are done, and then we can just go back and try to check about styling now. When it comes to styling, styling means let's first come and try to put some styling into our code, and then we will come and talk about these things. Okay. So we'll go back to our page, and you see that we can style our page, means put some color and put some order in it so that the page should look beautiful, those things. So we should start styling from the top over here, from the UL tag or OL tag, whichever you feel like doing it. So let me just come back and show you something. Like if you go to our div tag, saw it, there's a div tag, and let's say I want to make this one as a as red over here. Okay, so let's say if we have got a color tag not. So if you go to the W3 schools and look for a color tag, do we get a color tag? HTML colors and HTML font tag, HTML colors. So it comes in the style, and then you can put this and like style and background color. Be a tag also of that sort. Don't have a tag for it, but then there's a thing called a style, so we can just go into a style and do that. So let's come in some styling then. So when we come to our code, so we can come to our paragraph to the h1 tag and say style. Style equals, and put a quotation. Inside the quotation, you can say color, colon, red. Okay, so let's come and check what changes do we see. And you see this whole thing has become red now. So in order to style give styling, you need to use the tag or the property called as style inside each of the tags. So if you want to style, let's say what is CSS, so you can just copy the whole thing and come to the H2 tag over here for CSS, and then do the same thing for it. Or over here, it could be H2, not H3. H2, so that should all look aligned. And now what you see is all the three headings have been made into made red. But you see, what we did is, in order to do it, we have to write the same thing 3 times to get the result. And this is not sort of a good approach to get the things done when the same things are actually happening on the same tags. There should be a way out to deal with it rather than individually going on each of the tags, I'm sorry, each of the tags and putting the style. So this particular styling, what I did right now, this particular styling is called as inline CSS. So this is called as inline CSS. Okay, so it is done at the level of tag. So you see at the level of tag, we're doing this, we're putting these style. Okay, so if we could have another possibility to deal with it, then we will do it so that we don't have to do the same thing again and again. So, and that thing is called as the internal CSS. So we move from the inline CSS to internal CSS. So what's the way to do that? Go to your header. Go to your header. Inside the HTML, you've got head and body. So go to your header and write the, put a style tag, style, and end it. Okay, and end it. Inside the style tag, what you can do is, there are three ways to actually deal with it. See over here that I've done it, and here you can see that you need to take and this is called internal CSS I was talking about. You need to take the selector, and selectors could be a tag name or a class name or an ID. So what you can do is that you can take any selector over here. So in our case, it is the H2. It is the tag name. So we have put a tag name over here and put a curly brace and say that the property that you want to write. So here you will write the property name, which property color, or what property you're talking about, the height, the width, or background color, or what. So the property name, and you need to put a colon, and then you need to put the value of the property. What do you want over here? Then we'll end it with a semicolon, and then another property name, colon, and then you need to put a semicolon. You can go on and on and on for styling the same H1, which we'll see right away. So this makes the task for the developers quite easy, and they don't have to run through these kind of things, putting style tag on each of the H1 tags. I'm sorry, H2 tags, but it is a H1. I need to change that into a H2. I need to change that into a H2 tag. H2 tag. All heading should look similar. Okay, and make that also a H2 tag over here. Okay. Right. Now make it jQuery rather than, this will be a very defined JS, so make it jQuery. jQuery. Okay. Now, so now we can delete everything away. And so how we can do that? So in order to do the styling, as I said that, you come to your header, come to the end, press enter. So remember, that when you come to the head over here, you see this ending. After the ending, each meta, you see there is an end over here. So you come to the last one, and then you write your own style. This is the tag that is used for styling style. And close it. And then we are going to use the H2 tag that we want to style and put a curly brace over there. This is the name of the selector. The selector could be a tag name or it could be a class name. I haven't talked about the class name right now. Don't worry, I'll talk about that. But right now we are doing it with the tag name because we want to change the color of all the tags in one shot. Okay, so we want to change the color. And let's say we are going to change the color into blue. So you see, if you come back over here, you see only this got changed into blue, but the rest of the things are in red. Thing is that when you have got both the stylings done at the inline and the inline CSS and the internal CSS, so the inline takes the precedence over the external one. So we need to remove it because our styling over here is creating a problem. So we don't want these stylings anymore. It is not recommended to use the inline. Rather, we should be using this. Okay, you see, in one shot, all of the things got changed into blue color. So you see the codes that we have written over here is just the things side will tag and old tag. We don't need it right now. Let's come back over here and check it out. It just you put the style and just use the H2 and then the color change into blue. But the problem is, what if you have lots of H2 tags like the one we have over here? We don't want this H2 to get affected. I only want my what is HTML, what is CSS, and what is JavaScript to be affected by our styling and not the last one. So what we will do is rather than using the H2 tag, because it's going to affect every H2 tag. Let's say you have got more H2 tags over here, which will be creating, and then that will create a lot of problem. Don't want those H2 tags to be affected. So what you can do, there's another way to deal with it, is that you can make them as the class. So what we can do is that come over here and write a class, CLASS class, this property, then equals and write the class name. So we'll call this as box heading, head, whatever, box head. So because it's the heading. And then we can put this thing, each of the headings, the same class name, H2 box head, H2 box head. Now, instead of putting the tag name over here, what we can do is we can put this name, box head. So the tag name. So I double clicked it. So there's an easy way out. Many times what people do is that they try to drag their mouse for selection, and it takes a lot of time to do that. If you double click on any word, the thing gets automatically selected. So press. Now you see box head, and now save it. Let's come and check. Whoops. You see the old got black, but I wanted a blue. I want these to be blue, and this should not be affected by our this thing, because this is the idea that you didn't want our this H2 tag, which is what is jQuery, to be affected. Okay, but then we see that whenever when we put the H2 tag, all the H2 tags are affected by our styling. So you see, in order to deal with the class, whenever you have a class, for a tag, and we have put the same class for all the h2s except for this one. We don't want this to affect. So the process is you should put a dot before it. Okay, this is the process to do that, and only then your effects, your changes will take the shape. So come back over here and you see, now only 4 of the tags are affected, and 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is not affected. So this is how you can deal with it. Now, let's say I want to make my, I can, let's say I want to um, make my paragraphs also, um, uh, give them some color. So what we can do is that we can do the same thing with the paragraphs as well. Class equals and quotation and say box data. This is the box head and the box data, and you don't see any box. You will see the box very soon. So the class is box data, and you can see that we have the control C over there in the paragraph, do the same thing, and in this paragraph also do the same thing, and you have the box data over here. Okay, now we have the box header, and now we can make a dot box data. So remember, you can use any name of your choice, and it is not a mandatory to put a hyphen over here, but the dot is very important. So you need to take care of that as well. So, but I want the color. I want the color of the box of data to be red. And let's come and check like what happens if we refresh, and you see in one shot, we have our paragraph turn into red. Now, what we want to do is that we want to put each of the things inside a box. So let's make a distinction so that you can understand what I'm trying to tell. So in order to put that inside a box, we need to put the thing inside a div tag. And here, if you put a div tag, and so we need 3 div tags because we need to have 3 boxes. Control C, Control C, Control V. Okay. What I'm trying to tell is that I want to pack this inside one box, pack this inside one box, and pack this inside one box. So if you want to change anything inside the content of this, I can do it in one shot. So for that, I need to actually make a box for it. So what we'll do is that we'll first cut it like this, spread it, and copy the whole thing. Control C and Control V. I'm sorry, you can do Control X over here. Control X and pack it in the first div tag. And then Control X for it and pack it inside the second div tag. And then Control X for it and pack it inside the third div tag. See? And now what you can do is that you can give a class name to this also. And here you can say that this called as a box. And then Control C, that class is a box, and we can use it for all the div tags that we packed. So we made 3 div tags, and we need to call them as box. And what we can do over here is we can come and using the class name dot box, we can now put that inside the border. So that we can see what border we have. So border is solid gray. So come back and No, that's missing. Come over here and check out. Whoops, you see that? All the things have been packed into a box now. So, and now you can even, what you can do with the box is that you can change the background color of the box. Background color, and that should be light gray. Light gray is the color light too much. So this is how the box looks like. And now we don't want the size of the box to be that much. So what we can say is that the width should be 300 pixels and the height of the box should also be 300 pixels. Let's come and check what happens. And see, it's too much height. Make it 200. Make it this also 200 and come back. See the effect. That's okay, right? You see. And then there's a thing called as margin. So what I mean by margin is like let's say you have got boxes. You have got boxes and you have got one more box over here. So this space is called as a margin. So this space is called as a, see that? So this is called as a margin. And if you have a content written over here, so let's say this is my content. So this space, you know, here to here, here to here, or here to here, or here to here, to the end of the box and between the contents, called as padding. Okay, so we want, so this is padding top, this is padding bottom, this is padding left, right, this is padding left, this is the margin. So here we can use these things. Now clear the drawing. And coming back to our thing, we can use a margin, and we can say the margin to be 3 pixels. And let's come and check. So you see, there's a margin between the things, and 3 pixels too less. Make it 8. There should be a distinction between the boxes. Yeah. But then you see the text and everything are just aligned, not in the center. So you need to even align text, ALIGN, align text, and it should be in the center. So we don't even need the padding then. Just say that we want to align the text in the center, and then all your text should be is it the line text or what's the property? Come to our CSS, say ALID, line text. So it's text align property, not align text. So property is called as text align. We can come and use this text align rather than align text. And that should be the center. And come back over here. Boom. There we go. The text will align in the center. But then you see it this part of the space is not being utilized completely. So we want to float it to this side. And then we can add another thing over there that is called as the float property. So you want to say float and then say left. Must be thinking, why not right? This is how it is. That's how the page. And the moment you see the float, but then it started floating everything. And you see, I told you when we were doing this thing, we didn't want this part of the thing to float. Okay. So we made a div tag and we cleared the left. So what we can do is, can come over here, the last part, and over here we can make another div tag, a div tag, and what we will say in it, remember, style equals clear. What left? When you do that, this problem is gone then. See, and this is how it looks like. But there is another thing that we can do is that we can place this at the center over here, rather than giving it a side appearance. And we can also, like, we don't need that border over here. We don't need this solid gray. So we can just remove it and it will look better then. See? But we can do one more thing. We can use a border radius, and that will give it a curve at the edges, at the corners. So we can say that 10 pixel, and then come back over here and see, it looks pretty good over here. So, and we want to do put some effect on it so that it should be aligned to the center. So it's called as, there is a property called as, let me just check out, the property is called as align. Just go and check over here. Right, justify. Justify content. So we can use this inside our display flex and these two properties so that it should go to the center. Come over here and paste it. It will display is flexible. So let's see what changes does it make. This is what it has done. Because the moment you do that with it, what it does, it brings everything in a row, a horizontal arrangement. So when we use justify content to the center, I should ideally do that. Otherwise, like, should we make a flex? What kind of a flex it is? So flex direction should be columned. Let's see if it works over there or not. And come back over here and check flex direction. Let's come to this thing and look for flex direction. Flex direction. So this is the property, flex direction, and what we have put over here. Flex direction is column. Let's come and check the final change. There aren't any changes in it. What shall we do now to place the thing in the center? So what we can do is that we can just check out the CSS over here that I've done over here for the let's go into our index.html, check out if I think like are we into the right tag? The box is there. So do we need something more? See, box content, everything inside the box. So, so this is how it is. And this is my first content, second content, third content. And I've got the box. And I want the box to be. So where are we right now? We're into the box. Box one, box head, box here, box. So we don't need a flex direction. It's column. Only these two probably should help. Let me just check out. Like last one, uh, was it what is the box? Yeah, it's correct. It's the box that is representing everything correctly. So you see, and the day before, it's the box, and it's the box content. And then we have got box head and box body, the box content. So we need to put that inside a content, then simply it will take effect. So do we have a content over here? We have a box, and this is the problem, okay? Although we have a box, but we do not put, let me just close all the things, close others. And if you want to know which file we are in, so this is the button you can press, and it will take you the correct file which you are working in. The mistake that I did over here is that we did not actually pack that inside a box. Just write that as a box. So what we need to do is that let's make that, pack that inside a div tag. If it did do that, then is there a problem? If it did do that, okay, there is a problem. I need to understand. So this is our box, and the whole thing has, okay, instead of using this box, so we have got a first box, second box, and the third box that is placed, that should be the third box. There is some problem. Okay? Where is this div tag? See this div tag. We just, okay, this is here. So now cancel it, place this div tag over here. Okay. So let me just show it to you. I'd rather cut it and place it over here. Now see, this is our one div tag, second box, and this is our with the third box. Just place it nicely so that it should look good. Okay, so this is our third box. You see? And then we are into the right. We were into the wrong one. So let's create a class over here. And let's say, hold this thing as they provide it a name, box one. Let's say it's a box one. And instead of styling the flex styling into the box, because it should be above it. We want to style the box and uh, everything inside one big box, and then inside that we have got smaller boxes inside it. So we need to actually come back over here and make it as a dot box one, and then do the flexing inside it rather than so justify on its center, and instead of placing it over here, cut it and paste it over here. Now it will take the right place, because what I'm actually trying to do is that I'm taking the whole three boxes in one shot and placing it to the center. So what I did that I placed these in the center using so how can a box in itself be placed in the center unless it is a part of a bigger whole? But that was a problem that I actually this was not I wasn't able to get the result out of it. Okay, so you see our box is done with the colors, but then the colors are not so good, so like flashy. So instead of keeping it blue, we can look for some different color like dark gray. Looks like a white color. Box there because spelling is incorrect. Yeah, but then no. First, let's make the background body. So bring the body tag, the whole body, and provide that some color. A body tag, the HTML head and body, that tag I'm talking about. So here we are not putting a dot because we are just referencing it by the tag name. For the tag name, we don't have to put a dot. BAC back. A hyphen COL color, and that should be Azure. And let's check how it looks like. I see the whole screen actually takes a light blue color. That's the Azure. And if you want to make it a bit darker, so let's give it a light blue. How it looks now. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Maybe you can take a different color like light gray. Light gray. I like the shades of gray too much. Like everywhere I'm trying to put gray in it. But then this thing also got camouflage into the background. So rather than keeping this as light gray, we can just drop the light from there, look gray then. Okay, now then this red can be converted to white and false. And now, okay, this is how it is now. Okay, so this is what we have done so far. And now we can create one more thing that is our footer. And let's first arrange our images. So we have got 1, 2, 3 image, the video tag. So we can use the image tag to do that. Now, what we can do since our box is ready, what we can do, okay, we'll cut it later. Let's make a file and keep it separately so that we don't get bogged down by so many things written in one space. What we can do is that inside the web app, come to your project and create a new folder and call that folder as CSS. Okay. And once you make the folder, inside the folder, make a new file and call the file as style or anything of your choice, like style.css. But you have to be sure that you should mention .css extension, okay, so that it needs to understand the kind of file it is. And what we can do over here is that we can just cut the whole style sheet over here, what we have done, the box, and do a control X, and save it, and come and just paste it over here. Okay, now let's come and check out, the changes. And you see everything has turned into its original, shape that we gave it, because no styling is there, which is why it doesn't look that good, because we haven't referenced it. So how to reference it is come over here, make a link tag, and then reference it. So href equals is how you reference it. So reference href, and then write the path for it. So you see the path is CSS style. So we can say that CSS this / and then style style.css, and then packet. And another very important thing is that you need to write rel, that relation is equal to the style sheet. It's the YLESS. This is the most important thing that you mention, that you have to mention over here. Rel style sheet. What kind of a sheet is that? So it's a style sheet. If you don't do that, your effect won't show up. So now, since we have referenced our file, we'll come back over here and click it, and you see everything has come back to its original shape. Okay, so now you see this part of the page is empty now. We can put more styling and so over here also you can do one more thing. Do some enter and control / and write it. What is this styling for? So it was the styling for box. That's enough for box. The box. That's it. So how you can do that? There's another way to do that. Just delete it. Just come to the center over here. Put some dot. Say for, and it says it's error. You can't do that. But this is what it's saying. Unless you comment this part of the code. It says it's error, and this thing is not able to understand what because it doesn't have any head or anything, so it's against the rule. So you use a control, bring it anywhere over here, wherever you want to. Use a control and a /, and this thing will get commented. That means the computer knows that it is a commented piece of code, and the computer doesn't read it. So you need to learn how to comment it. And commenting are the most important thing in programming. You need to learn how to comment things. Come and refresh it. Now, what we can do is, since we have put this part over here, and this part is empty for our styling, and once we do another styling, then we can go back and put our codes inside it. What I did, just for a recapitulation, what I did is that I made another CSS folder. Inside the CSS folder, I made a style.css file. Extension was .css. And I simply whatever things were written over here, I did a control X after selection. And once I did a control X, I came to this part and did a control V. So it got pasted, and then I wrote something for box and put these dots over there, and then used, what thing? If you're not getting the point, let me just tell you. This is the button I press CTRL, this control, and this is a / button that's on the right side of your keyboard. And if you do that, then you can comment any piece of code just by, putting a cursor to that particular line and then pressing these two things. Like you do a control save, you can use a control /. Okay, so now clear the drawing and let's get back to our styling part. And then come over here and what we can do. Okay, you see we have got images also. So instead of having, images like this over here placed in a very bad way, what we can do. So one image is referenced from the internet, but the other two are very local to this computer. So this project. So what we can do is that we can make another folder and call that as image folder and press OK. And now drag and drop all the files. One. Okay, just cut it and paste inside image. Just I pressed over here and Control V, and then I cut it, Control X, and then put the image and click on the image and do a Control V. And then both of your images are placed inside the image folder. And now do a Control Save. So once I do a Control Save over here, what you will see is that your images are gone. So these two images were borrowed from the local computer. So these two will go away after refreshing. So you see where it shows images, but no images are there because it is wrongly referenced. Now, because the path has changed, and instead of this thing, we will write one more thing, image, and put a slash. And over here also, we'll put image, put a slash. This is how you make the path and Control Save. And this is how it is done. Now, just come and refresh the page and our images are back now. See? Now, the image thing, I want all of them to be of the same size so that we should not meddle. So our div packet, div tag, table tag completed. Now, come back over here and put a styling to our image tag. So since it is directly a tag, we don't have to put a dot over there. Simply the tag name is enough, but we should be doing it inside the style tag. So, but the selector is IMG, and we can say that the height should be around, the height should be 80 pixels. And the width also should be 80 pixels. So all the images will be affected by this now. Come back over here after saving the file. You come and you see these three images are like, it looks so small. What we need to do is that instead of 80, put 180 and 180. Come and check. Okay, this is how it looks like. And then we can also put margin between the images. Margin could be left, right, or whichever margin you want to put. And the margin would be of 4 pixels or maybe 6 pixels. Margin. Come back over here and refresh the page, and you see you've got the margins over here. Then after the margin, what we can do is that we can also make this one small, our video tag also. It's so big. So can you bring the video also over here, video tag, and say that, we want the height, width, and margin of the same type. Just copy it and paste it over here. Let's say what happens. So this is inside the iframe tag, which is why it did not work that way. It's working. But when we did that to the video tag, the size is not the same as this one. So we need to make it bigger. Something like that. And the iframe. So we can come over here, see make it as 180. 180. Because we are doing that inside the iframe tag. The inline CSS we are doing over here. Not 1800. Let's come and refresh the page. You see, there's also 180 now. And the click me is also there. You want to make it a bit bigger, so we need to just do something over here with this video tag. Nothing. So let's do 180. Let's make it 220. Delete it. Control C. So we 20 and then that's 200 would be okay. They should not be clubbed in one because they are of different type. And then also, let's give it a break over there. Clear left. Where are we right now? We want the images to be separate. So what we can do is that we can put that inside a div tag. Pull our images inside a div tag. That will be a good option to do that. So I'm just packing my images inside a div tag. So that it should be easy to handle. So just do a Control X and Control V. And you see it's packed inside the div tag. Pack it. So let's remove this thing. We don't need it anymore. So that's it. Now, after the packing, we have these things over there. We can clear the left. What we can do is that we can clear left. First, we have to make a div tag in order to clear the left. And then write a clear. Oh, we forgot the style. style inline CSS with equals and then a quotation and then write clear left. Clear left. Style should not be a hyphen, rather it should be a colon. And then packet. And now come and check out. So these three things are there. Then we can even put that inside as the center also. So what we can do, that there are the images, so we can call it as class, give it a class name, and equals my images. So images, and then what we can do is, let's see if it works. If it doesn't, then we have to make more div tags over here. So let's come, like last time, try to do it and it did not work. So we had to make another boxes and div tags. Okay, so remember the last time the problem that we faced. First, we just put a dot images. It's not a tag, it's a class name. And let's do a flex. and flex should be, the display should be flex, and our, what was the thing? So display should be flex, and alignment, justify content, this one, center. So let's come back over here and put it once again, save it, and see first. Okay, first does work, and now the three are in the center. Now we can come to this part where we have the video links and those things. But yeah. So the placement of these video links are not that good. So what we can do is that we can also place these two things inside a div tag. These two things inside a div tag. Where's the thing? Okay, just make a div tag. Div tag, and then place the two things inside it. See the anchor tag as well. Leave the anchor tag. Let's do one thing, press enter. It's easy to copy then. Control X and then Control V. And call the class as class equals my videos. My videos. Okay. And then come to this part and come to this part of styling and say dot my videos, and do the same thing with that also. So that should be placed in the center. Over see the effect. These two things are placed in the center, but then they are badly arranged. Now, this thing is a bit of a problem because one is using an iframe. Now there is a simple video tag. So if they were both like, the video tags, then it could have taken the same effect. And we can't do, and it's clickable and there's not clickable. These are the other things that are there in it. So what we can do is that we can just remove this iframe. We don't need it. Iframe. This for remove it from there and save the whole thing. Let's come and see this. Our video tag is there. Okay. Can we put some kind of styling to our images? Where are the images? Images. My videos, images, and use the image tag. Can we put a border or something like a radius? Border radius. Let's work on it. Let me just check. Border radius equals 10 pixels. See if it changes your things. It does change it. So see it cut the border. Yeah. And even do one more thing. We can make the size bigger as well. Like it should be. I think the size is appropriate. There's no problem in it. Only thing is that this thing is over here is meddling with that with our. What we can do is like there's one way to deal with this problem is that we can keep it absolutely to this side of the page, or maybe in a vertical, in a column structure on this side, or we can do whatever we can. So the idea is that we're not trying to make actually a web page. I'm just trying to make you aware of different things, and you can do your own styling. Once you get a hang of it, then you can actually do your own styling with it. So, and some more stylings are left, which we will be doing it in our next session. We can make a footer over here like this, and the footer will contain things like if you check out a normal website, like the one that we have, that's what click me, and takes me to this web page. And if you come over here, you see a footer section, and you see so many things that there, and each of the things are clickable. You see that? You can also create a footer section, and if you can provide these kind of logos also inside it, and then we can make our page look a bit better with some more details of it. So we can do that. Later on, you can work your way out to make your website look better and even greater as like it, make it more vibrant. It's like a dull, if you think. So, you see over here, the background and the forward color is the same. So just change the color also. Go and change the color. Is it box head, box data? Color is white. And there is a box head and it's dark gray. Either should be gray so that they could bring a bit of a contrast. Otherwise, oh, oh wow. It actually was bringing out contrast. Instead of checking for a dark gray, we should look for some other color shade. Maybe maybe a shade of orange might do that. Let me see. Light orange. I don't know whether the color exists or not. It's light orange. Say takes the color. It's a black. There's nothing called as light orange. So let's make it orange. Now check. So, but a bit too flashy. So again, it's a personal choice what you want to put inside it. And, okay, so thanks for watching the video. In the next video series, we'll do the footer over here, the bottom part of it, and then we're going to try to make some changes over here as well. And in the list items that we have made, and we'll try to even make the table look better and place the table somewhere where, it should really fit nicely. And that will be in our next discussion. Thanks for watching the video.